Hi guys, and welcome to a new series of videos. So, because 2020 was really crazy in regards to the lack of travel, starting a new podcast where we'll be introducing guests from all over the world, and they'll be sharing some of their experiences and stories from some of the countries that they've been to. So today I've got Tomas from Slovakia who is joining me. Welcome, Thomas.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
No problem. So, Thomas, would you like to just introduce yourself? And I know that you're also on YouTube, so if you want to promote your channel.
Yes, with pleasure. Thank you. Well, as you already mentioned, I come from Slovakia, so I'm Slovakian. Actually, I was born in Czechoslovakia. That's a country that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
It used to be the center of Europe. I like to mention that because I miss that country. Anyway, I spent good part of my life in the UK, where I'm right now, where we're recording this video.
Yeah.
But I am actually I like to travel, and I also lived in few countries in the past for longer period of time. And during this new year, I am actually moving to Switzerland.
That's great.
And
so
yes,
we'll get more into the details in a little while. But you're also on YouTube and you've got some channels as well. Would you like to tell us about them?
That's right. Yes, on YouTube you can find me on a few channels which I run. One is called World by Tomas, because my name is pronounced or is spelled without H, so it's just Tomas.
Yeah.
World by Tomas. That's one of my channels where I do two kind of different things, maybe not connected, but I publish short travel videos. I try to bring some practical information about different places.
Yeah.
What I like to do when I get to a new country, I, for example, record just a video in a supermarket and show the prices, stuff like that. So that's what you find there. And also some audiobooks, funnily enough. And then the other channel where I am, it's called World from Above. And World from Above, these are the videos I record with my drone.
Yeah. Brilliant. Now, I've checked out both your channels. So what I'll do is I'll leave the links for both your channels below. So anyone who wants to check them out, they're more than welcome to check them out. But yeah, they're both very, very interesting channels. The first one, it's great because people who go to different countries, sometimes they don't know what to expect, and things are more visual now. I think people prefer like video content in regards to like getting advice and that kind of stuff. I know myself, I've used YouTube like many times for tips on places where to go and that kind of stuff. And your second channel, all the aerial footage, it's just breathtaking, like, seeing places from a different point of view.
Yes, it's exciting now. These days, we all can access drones. We can get the drone. It's pretty easy, not too complicated, to learn to fly a drone. So almost like anyone can now create wonderful pictures and video with the drone.
Yeah, like 10, 20 years ago, like only the professionals had access to those kind of technologies, but now it's accessible to pretty much anyone.
Yes, or you had to record from a helicopter, so you needed a helicopter with a pilot land on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't got my helicopter available at the moment, so I'll stick to the drone.
Yes, yeah.
So Thomas, you was born in Czechoslovakia, which obviously unfortunately got split into was it three countries?
Two countries.
Two countries, Czech Republic, which is now Czechia.
They are actually, it's quite complicated, but basically the split was a peaceful one.
Okay.
It was something what they called a Velvet Revolution that happened first in 1989 when the regime collapsed in Czechoslovakia. And a few years later, our prime ministers, because there were two prime ministers, two parliaments, it was like a federation the whole time.
Yeah.
They just decided, without any referendum, because they believed that there was this will amongst both nations to divide, to separate. And now we have Czech Republic. It's called Republic because it contains of two regions of as you mentioned, Czechia or the Bohemia maybe, and Moravia. But not many people know that, and no need to go into detail. And then the other one is Slovakia or Slovak
Yeah.
Republic, where I'm from.
So, what are you from? A village, a city, a town, or?
I'm from a second largest city, which is quite small. It's only 250,000 people living there, but it's a nice old city built in a kind of Baroque style, like
Okay.
the architecture in the old cities, like what you can see in Vienna, Austria. This is
Yeah.
like that. So it's a smallish city in the east called Košice. That's where I'm
Okay.
from.
And did you live there long before moving elsewhere?
Yes, I lived there until I was about 20, 22,
Okay.
and that's when I moved to the UK.
All right. And was it a big move for yourself? Like, did you basically move your whole life, or did you come for work, or what was the initial plan to come to the UK?
I came for work. But it was quite, everything was new for me. I came to the UK and my English was almost non-existent.
Wow.
So I had to learn that. It took me about three years till I got confident and my level of my English was good enough to maybe talk almost like now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a start in a new country in a very nice part of the UK in the south, in the southwest, and I really like that part of England until now.
Yeah. So you moved to the UK, didn't know a lot of the language. How different was it from your country and your upbringing?
Very different, very different. Even if we talk about the mentality of the people, right? The UK, the society is multicultural. Where in
Yes.
my country, even until now, you can still feel it. But when I was growing up, when I was a child, I was basically born during communism. There was still
Mm,
communism. There was almost no foreigners in the country, even visiting. So people were quite closed and quite, even I
yeah.
would say, xenophobic. And we were not allowed, basically, it wasn't allowed to learn English at school. You could learn Russian as a
Wow.
foreign language, and then later German language or Spanish or French, but some English with time. And that's why I didn't know any English. I was learning German all my life.
Wow. So when it come to the opportunity to move to the UK, did you have other options, or was it the UK that you specifically wanted to come to?
That was an offer. That was a job offer. So I felt good about it. I liked it. I heard something about the UK before, not much.
Yeah.
Actually, my cousin, she came to London and she still lives in London as an au pair. She was working
Yeah.
and she was always talking in English when she came back with her boyfriend or who she brought with her. And it sounded for me, I couldn't understand her, but it sounded cool and interesting and like she likes it there.
Yeah.
So it was kind of mental preparation for me. And when my this opportunity came up, then I was like, I'm going to
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah. And up until that age, sorry, had you traveled anywhere else before coming to the UK, or was this the first destination outside of your home country?
It wasn't. I've traveled. It's partly because my father was originally from Ukraine,
All
or
right.
then we can say he was born in Soviet Union.
Okay.
The country doesn't exist anymore. So I was from like a mixed marriage, right? My father Ukrainian, my mother Slovakian, and then that's why we used to go to Ukraine or to the sea, to the Black Sea, to
Yeah.
Odessa, and like that since I was a child, and I kind of got used to it, traveling and even Ukraine, that's different culture for
Yeah.
Eastern and
Absolutely. Uh,
so I was already getting prepared for the future, and I started enjoying going to other places and traveling.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you enjoyed all the adventures as a child, and um,
Oh yes.
And how did you find Ukraine, the homeland of your father? Sorry.
For me, I wasn't surprised about anything what I saw there, but maybe someone else who would come from Western world would be surprised, but I wasn't because I'm half Ukrainian at the end of
Yeah.
the day. But it was very different to even to Slovakia. You know, I noticed
Mhm.
already in the 90s when I traveled to Ukraine, when you cross the border between Slovakia and Ukraine, it's
Yeah.
like you are in another world.
Wow.
Same when you cross the border before. Now it's not so. The differences are not so huge, but between Slovakia and Austria,
Yeah.
it's another world, right?
Wow.
So I noticed all those things, but I was alright with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess like when you're young, you're very adaptable to change, and
Yeah.
whatever environment you're brought up in, you kind of adapt to it. As you get older, I guess change is less susceptible. So it does take time to adapt to different things, whether it's food or language or just your surroundings.
Yes, that's true. I
So
think also when you're younger and you want to travel, lots of young people here want to travel. So you want to try different food, you want to see different places, you would do any crazy things just to go somewhere, you would backpack just to get pictures, you would get up
yeah,
early morning, climb the mountain. But with age, maybe then you start deciding and choosing better, like what you really are willing to do
yeah,
and in a way
yeah.
while traveling.
In relation to the food, when you come to the UK, were there any similarities? Were there big differences, or what did you find?
Oh, for me, everything seemed easier, more accessible,
Hmm.
more affordable here in the UK. Even starting, of course, if you compare the salaries, maybe back then, even now, between in my country and in the UK,
Yeah.
then one can earn and save and keep more here,
Hmm.
same work, than in Slovakia. So you can afford more stuff. Um,
Yeah. Did
I
that?
was excited about, trying, even going to the supermarket and buying
Hmm.
things that we didn't have.
So did that increase in salary open your horizons to be able to travel more? Would you say, or would you say you would travel just the same from your own country?
Well, I always didn't mind to spend my savings or my money for travel, but also when I was a student, that was before coming to the UK, I once, for example, hitchhiked from my hometown all the way across Europe to Lisbon, Portugal. It
Wow,
didn't cost me almost nothing.
that's
So
amazing.
I always found a way to do it, to travel.
So how old were you when you carried out that trip?
I was around, I think, 19 or 20. It was during the university, one summer. Yeah,
Yeah. Did you do that alone or?
alone.
Wow.
Yes. It was a crazy story because there was an advert in the newspaper in my country that there is a job in Portugal, some for students.
Right.
You don't have to speak the language, you just need to get to Portugal. So I called them and they said, yes, right, it's here. We are like selling door to door some paintings and stuff,
Yeah.
You based on the commission and stuff. And I'm like, why not? At least this gives me a reason to go to Portugal. So how do I get there? At that time, the flight tickets were much more expensive than now.
Yeah.
There were no like low cost airlines almost. So I said, no, I'm not flying. I'm not paying maybe how much was it? 2,000 euros for the flight. No, no, no. I'm going to hitchhike.
Yeah. So were you actually quite serious about this job, or was you more interested in the adventure?
Well, both, because the adventure
Yeah.
is fun, but you need to feed yourself. You need to make some money. So I got there. It was
Yeah.
amazing. 5 days. I wasn't rushing, five
Yeah.
days. I saw nice things. I didn't have a camera at the time. I just everything is just memories in my head. But when I
Yeah.
got there, I started working with them. But after 2 weeks, I realized it's not a job for me.
Oh
So
wow.
I was okay with it.
Yeah. So do you want to go into some details of the route that you had taken to get to Portugal?
Yes, so this will be a geography lesson for some. So from eastern Slovakia, from my hometown called Košice, I went south towards Hungarian border towards Hungary. And
Mm.
then during that day, I managed to get through the capital of Budapest, the capital of
Yeah.
Hungary. And then further southwest by the lake Balaton in Hungary, and is one of the biggest lakes in Europe. And I stayed there first night. I remember I had my sleeping bag, and the weather was good, so I slept just in the grass somewhere, not
Well.
far from the lake. Yeah, and it was nice because the rides were short, but there was many, and there were nice people, and you didn't need to wait long until for the car. It usually only was up to 10 minutes, maybe less.
So you're hitchhiking, basically catching lifts with different cars,
Yeah,
and
you just stand by the road. You have
yeah,
a piece of cardboard, and you write
yeah,
where you're heading,
yeah,
where to go, and you hold it, and they stop, or they used to. I don't know how it's now with
yeah.
hitchhiking. Not that popular.
So was that very common in those times?
Yes, and in my country especially because, for example, I used to go to university to another town, which was around 30, 40 miles.
Yeah,
And I used to hike even to go there and back. I could take a train. Normally I
yeah,
went by, but sometimes I hitchhiked because it was faster.
yeah. So once you had gone down through the south through Hungary, and then did you start heading towards the west, or
Yes, now I don't remember exactly every single day where I went, where I slept, but I got obviously yes, the Slovenia. There was this town of Murska Sobota. I remember that. I crossed through Slovenia, didn't go to the capital of Ljubljana, just really short Slovenia and then Italy.
oh
And in
well,
Italy, it's not allowed to hitchhike. You're not allowed. I didn't know that, but it didn't
mm.
stop me. Uh, Honestly, I also didn't have much money on me, and this was also the time pre-plastic, pre-cards. So it was. I didn't. Yeah, this was maybe crazy what I was doing.
Yeah,
Uh, so I hitchhiked around Milan, and then somewhere there was this city of Genoa, I think. I am at this uh, place where the cars go through to the highway, and they have to pay toll
yeah,
because and I'm hitchhiking there, and I'm like, this is good because here is a lot of cars, everyone sees me. And then the police arrive and they say, are you not allowed to hitchhike here? And I'm like, okay, sorry. So I just walk away, but again I hitchhike, and then someone took me, and it was good. And then I ended up on a petrol station somewhere in Italy, and I'm waiting with my cardboard, and I am like, this is too long. This is not normal. I think it's not allowed really to hitchhike, and people are scared. They don't want to get into trouble.
yeah.
And then I see a car coming, Skoda, with Czech Republic registration. So I'm immediately turning my cardboard around, writing with my thick black marker,
Yeah,
ahoy. Ahoy means hi in
yeah.
Czech or Slovak language. So I wrote ahoy, turned it around, showed it to the woman, and she stopped. Hey, are you from Czech Republic? I said, I'm from Slovakia. I said, okay. She says, come on, where are you going? And she gave me a lift. Yeah,
Wow. And
but that's a
how
good
far did
trick. I
she
recommend that.
yeah, how far did she take you then?
She took me somewhere to the far, like northwest of Italy,
Yeah.
and then I won't remember now where I slept that night. But next day, Côte d'Azur, France, really beautiful, and
Yeah.
Monaco and all. And I had these two girls who stopped. They gave me a lift, and they were opera singers. They were
Oh,
French,
interesting.
and they were singing while we were driving it. It was crazy. It was really fun. I remember these things now that you ask me. And then I slept in a, I think I paid for a hotel somewhere. Was it? Huh, I don't know if it was in Bordeaux. It was already across the southern border of France and
Yeah.
Spain. And then next day, another day, went to Spain, all the way down the Zaragoza, Valladolid, and then I was heading towards Coimbra, which is already in Portugal.
Okay.
And it's super hot. It was summer. This was July,
Yeah.
and dry and hot. It's like in North Africa,
Yeah.
and I'm hitchhiking and I'm dying, and there's no cars, and it's like in the middle of nowhere. So there's this bridge. I'm saying, okay, let's move from here. Let's walk. I went on that bridge, and then I looked down where I was just before, and there's this big snake, like poisonous snake, like Ada. It's just like passing by. So I was lucky. I moved.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then I got to Coimbra. I remember that in Coimbra, people are very funny. Sometimes it's like that when you hitchhike. They pretend they are going to stop, and then they take off, and they are laughing. So that was Coimbra. And then from there, I somehow managed to get to Lisbon at night
Yeah.
and found these people and spent some time there.
Wow. So things like that. I think people are less prone to taking risks like those, like in the modern day. And I suppose today, like you said, people have cards and things like that where you can kind of get out of trouble. Whereas the time you did it, I guess technology wasn't even as advanced as it is today. So there's no smartphones. And did you even have a mobile phone with you at the time?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. But if I had, it was Nokia 3310.
Yeah. For you, what was the most memorable part of that trip?
I enjoyed the ride with these two French opera singers, these
Yeah.
ladies. They were singing this Italian song, which goes like funiculi, funicula, funiculi, funicula. And they were like crazy. They were having fun. And I'm
Yeah.
from Eastern Europe at that time. We are not having fun. This is wow.
Yeah. And did you like Portugal when you got there?
Oh yes, Lisbon was really nice. I was
Yeah.
very lucky because with these people, there was one Slovakian girl in the team. It was people from different countries, and they
Yeah.
were doing this, selling this stuff. And that was good to have her there, someone who speaks my language, because I
Yeah.
knew no Portuguese and even almost no English at that time. English was, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we went to Lisbon, we went to Cascais and different places around in the south. It was really nice.
And
But I was at selling.
yeah, it is an art to sell things to people. So at least you got the adventure out of it and some memories that you'll keep for the rest of your life.
Yes, of course, for sure. Yeah.
So later on in life, you've gone to uh, Canada, I believe, and some other places. You've been to America, Mexico.
Yes, and Germany. I also lived in Germany. Yeah.
So
Because you see, all my life, well, until now, I think now I found the place where I want to be, but I was looking for the almost ideal country. Yeah.
yeah,
So I started with the UK. I lived here in the UK for many years. First slot was maybe 5 years in a row, and then I traveled in the meantime, of course. But after the UK, went back to Slovakia for a while to the capital, to Bratislava. I had a
yeah,
job there in the office, which was super boring, super not for me. And then I joined the airline. I started working as a flight attendant.
oh
And
wow,
my first placement or the base where they sent me, where I had to work, was Germany. Was in Germany, in Bremen, in northern Germany. So I lived in Germany, which was an interesting experience. I could use my German.
yeah,
And but after 1 year in Germany, I decided to go back to the UK. So came back, and after 2 years in the UK, or during that period, I applied for immigration to Canada, and I immigrated to Canada and lived in Ottawa, in the capital, for 3 years. And I couldn't get used to Canada, so I left it and went to the US.
What was it? If you don't mind me asking you, what in Canada didn't you get used to? What was it that?
Canada, I had maybe my what I was imagining that it would be like was very different to the reality.
Yeah, so you had a high expectation, and it just didn't live up to that expectation.
Yes, and I met a lot of people, a lot of immigrants, foreigners who live in Canada, because Canada is a country of immigrants, right?
Yeah.
Over there, if you have an accent, no one pays attention. No one will ask you anything. No one will say anything. They're all immigrants. Yeah, there's, I think, I don't know, it's probably in the hundreds of thousands of new immigrants that come to the country every year, because they have an immigration program. That's how they function. They need more people, so
Yeah.
conditions for that. But for me, as an European, it just wasn't working. But if you come from the US, maybe from Latin America, or even Mexico or Asia, Africa, you might love Canada. Maybe not the cold, but you might like it. Just for me, it was. I tried. At least I've been there, and
Yeah.
I'm not regretting, and I'm not going to think about it for the rest of my life. That maybe I should have gone.
So how long was you in Canada before you decided to move on?
3 years.
3 years. Yeah. So you was there a little while. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, almost 3 years. I think if I stayed for 3 years, I could apply for their citizenship.
Yeah.
But I'm not determined that I'm not staying and that I don't need their passport.
Yeah. Yeah. So from there you moved down to the USA. Was that like?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I
Was
went
that?
to the US,
Yeah.
yes, because I have some friends there. I went not far, actually, just to the New Jersey state.
Okay.
Stayed there for not for long, because it didn't work out. It was more complicated. Maybe my idea was that it will be very easy to legalize yourself over there, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. So while I was actually in the US, I visited Mexico City. I bought a return flight to Mexico City. I went there for 10 days.
Was that easy to do or?
Yeah, it was basically, I already had I saw that US was a nice trip, but this is not the place where I'm staying. So I decided to go back to the UK. So I bought my flight to London.
Yeah.
Already set. But then I realized I don't need to be here. I can maybe go somewhere quickly for a week while I'm here.
Yeah.
And the cheapest flight I found was Mexico City return from Philadelphia, actually. The second cheapest, maybe $20 more expensive, would be Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
But let's go to Mexico City, because I remembered that I know one girl from Slovakia who is married and lives in Mexico City.
Wow.
So I went on Facebook. I said, "How are you?" Well, anyway, I'm here. I'm planning to go to Mexico City. She said, "Yeah, you can come and stay at our place." So that's.
And how much was that flight? Do you remember how much you paid?
It was a return from Philadelphia to Mexico City, and by Delta, it was around $160. It was very cheap. So then I stayed in Mexico City. It was really cool. I used couch surfing to meet people.
Yeah.
But then couch surfing changed. Now they are charging people. They are charging membership.
Yeah.
But before it was free, and there were events every evening, everywhere in Mexico City, and meetup.com as well. So I was going to these events during the day, walking around, taking videos. By the way, there is one video, 30 best things you can do in Mexico City. It's on my channel, World by Tomas, from Mexico City. And then I went back to the UK. It was winter. I don't like winter. February in the UK in the south. After what, maybe 2 months, but not just like that. But after 2 months of struggle in the UK and talking with some people from Mexico that I met, I decided to go back to Mexico.
Oh
And I
wow.
went back to Mexico City and stayed there for 1 year.
Wow, you actually stayed in there for a year. Wow, it's interesting.
Yes, I lived in Mexico City for 1 year, which was an amazing experience. I will remember that for the rest of my life. There are a few countries around the world, like Mexico City, where you can come as a tourist and stay for 6 months, and then you can leave and come back and stay for another 6 months.
Yeah, yeah.
I could do that, but I also got a work visa while I was there because I
Mm.
started working as an English teacher. I was teaching English and doing other work.
Yeah.
I got my visa, but again, Mexico is a dangerous place, if I can say it openly.
Did you feel that it was dangerous, or was it things that you heard about, or what? Why would you say?
Luckily, I haven't experienced anything. I am very lucky like that, wherever I go. But I've been to places where, while I was there, where people were telling me, you should never go there by yourself. You could lose your camera, you could lose everything.
Yeah.
And you can see on social media and news every day not very nice things that are happening in
Yeah.
Mexico, one of the bigger cities in Mexico. So if you are in your bubble, if you are a foreigner who comes and lives in a nice part of the city like Polanco or in somewhere in downtown, you won't notice anything. But if you go a few metro stops further out,
Yeah.
you can see it's like slums and things like that. It's a big city. It's 20 million people living there.
Wow,
Yeah,
it's like one of the biggest in the world, I suppose.
yes, lots of traffic, lots of pollution, lots of noise, which was for something that I couldn't get used to. Always music playing, people shouting, people talking. Every shop has its own speaker outside.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
But you enjoyed it for the time you were there.
Yeah, people were wonderful. I met really nice people and I enjoyed it.
And you didn't have any intention of staying longer than you did?
I thought about it, but towards at the end of my stay, I decided actually I could stay longer because my work visa were for I think for 2 more years. I decided to return to Europe and not to stay in Mexico. While I was there, I was trying many different things how to make some money there,
Yeah.
earn my living. And I had to learn Spanish first of all. I didn't speak any Spanish when I came, but at the end, my Spanish is quite okay, and I want to improve it. But yeah, without Spanish, it's difficult there.
Yeah.
What I found is very nice if you are into these kind of things. Mexicans love food, they love sweets, they love chocolate, they love this kind of things. So you, as a foreigner, you can present food from your country, you can sell it there, you can import stuff and sell. I was doing this also.
That's great. That's great. Okay, then after you left Mexico, then you came back to the UK. Is that correct?
That's right. Yes, I came back to the UK again, my base.
Yeah. So you call UK home. Is that right?
I can say that. Yes. Yeah, I am calling UK home, but not for much longer because I'm planning to move again, and hopefully this time it will be my last move.
Okay. So do you mind telling us where you're going to?
Yes, I'm going to Switzerland. I'm
Okay.
going to Switzerland, which I visited many times in the past.
Hmm.
I always liked the country. I love the nature. It's a beautiful place.
Hmm.
Somehow they speak German. They have 4 official languages, but
Yeah.
with German you are okay there. But my German, German is a difficult language. I always thought it's not good enough. German is not good enough. That was before I went to Germany
Yeah.
to live in Switzerland. But I think now I'm ready.
What part of Switzerland do you like, or where will you be living?
I'm going to stay not far from the capital, not far from Bern, in a town called Thun. Thun. It's
Mm.
A lovely place in between mountains and lakes,
Mm.
not far from Zurich, maybe 1 hour and a half by train from Zurich. Actually, I came back a month ago. I was there for 1 week, and that's when I was recording a lot of videos that
Yeah.
I'm now posting on my channel with my drone videos channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you
So
been to Switzerland?
I've
Asli?
not been to Switzerland. What I wanted to do, I did have a trip which I really would like to do, which is basically to go to the Alps. Is it the
Hmm.
Alps?
Yes,
Um,
yes.
so what I want to stay in one of those chalets in like near Grenoble. But what I wanted to do was fly to Switzerland and travel through the mountains and reach there that way.
Okay.
Because
Can
it's
give you a lot of tips.
you got some tips for me.
Yes, yes. Because I have a cousin. She lives in Switzerland for more than 5 years now. And this time when I visited last month, she helped me a lot. Because in Switzerland, for example, you can get this day pass for your
Okay.
train. You only pay about £30 and you can use it for 24 hours in the whole country, any train you like. So it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheaper way to move around.
Yeah. So, do you know anyone who's taken this travel from like, for example, from Switzerland to like Grenoble? Is this a
I'm not familiar with this part of the world, actually, Grenoble. Never been there. The furthest I've been, but only briefly, was in Geneva,
yeah?
in Biel. It's a famous town in western Switzerland because there is the HQ of Rolex.
Okay, okay. And
Yes, but Grenoble, no, I don't know much about it.
yeah, I believe like Geneva is close to the border, right?
Yes, Geneva is right at the border with France. Yes.
Yeah. And from what I've my research from my research, I've seen that there's a it's very mixed as well because I think it's very multicultural in Geneva.
It is.
So it's very accessible, and you can do a lot of stuff there.
Yes, it is because there is United Nations headquarters there,
Mm,
and the other European and UN institutions sit there. So yes, there it is multicultural. Otherwise, Switzerland is quite conservative. It's not that multicultural. Another exception is Zurich. In
mm,
Zurich, me as a foreigner, I felt really good in there because there's a big expats community from
yeah,
all around the world, and you don't even need to speak French or German, and you'll be fine with English over there.
that's interesting. It's interesting. Um, my idea is to stay in one of those chalets. It's quite idyllic, very scenic, and there's always a lot of activities to do in them kind of places as well. You can go hiking, mountain
Yeah,
biking. Uh,
absolutely.
yeah, and there's a lot of things that you can do, and I know from your drone footage as well. Like you've shown a lot of the nice kind of views that you can kind of expect from Switzerland.
Yeah, Switzerland is beautiful. First time I visited Switzerland, eastern part, which is the mountains, in 2000, in year 2000. So that's 20 years ago, and we stayed at this like Airbnb. Back then there was no Airbnb, but something like that. A small Swiss house in the mountains. There was a cable car passing by
Yeah,
every 2 minutes. Beautiful view, lake. It's really like from a fairy tale.
yeah,
And this very modest Swiss family who, their breakfast was like bread, butter, some cheese. They like cheese
yeah,
and chocolate. They like
yeah.
a lot.
Well, I love
And yeah,
chocolate as
very
well.
nice. Yeah, and we stay friends till now. I visited them actually when I was in Switzerland last time. So it's idyllic, it's a beautiful place, and you can do a lot of things. The trains are really fast. You can get from A to B, maybe
Yeah,
3 times faster than it would be in Slovakia or in the UK. It's very comfortable, very fast. you can do a lot in a short time in Switzerland.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of Arabic people love Switzerland as well because of the mountains and in the summer it's pleasantly warm, even though people go skiing and that kind of stuff as well, don't they?
Yes, I saw a lot of people from Arabic countries in Zurich last time I was there. It was really hot. It was during summer. One summer day I went to Zurich, did a bit of flying with the drone about the lake, and yes, there were people from all around the world. Yeah, it's lovely there.
And so just moving towards the end of the show now, what I wanted to ask you, because this whole coronavirus affected a lot of people's travel plans. Did it affect anything that you had prepared or anything you had planned or anywhere you wanted to go in the year 2020?
It did affect it, one of my plans a little bit, but it was for good. I
Okay.
wanted actually to go to Egypt.
Oh,
I
wow.
wanted to Egypt, and I already looked at Hurghada, the resort, just to get somewhere where it's nice, warm, and there is a
Yeah.
sea. Maybe I will do a trip to Cairo for one day, and that's all I wanted. I just wanted to relax and work. I needed
Yeah.
the internet. But I booked the whole package with EasyJet because it was cheaper than to book separately the hotel and
Yeah.
flights. And then it got cancelled. EasyJet cancelled the flights, so everything was refunded. That was not a problem. First, I was a bit like not happy about it because once I decide I want to do it.
Yeah.
The next day, I booked the same thing separately with TUI.
Yeah.
Booked flights, and then the same hotel I booked on Booking.com. Of course, in 3 days, both cancelled because the lockdown started here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'm not going to Egypt, unfortunately. Maybe next year. But instead of Egypt, I went to Switzerland.
And that's
So,
when you kind of had your heart set on Switzerland.
yeah, that was good. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you ever been to Egypt before or?
No, not yet. Not
Okay.
yet. This is just on my bucket list.
Yeah.
But I saw your video. I saw your video about
Yeah.
your trip to Egypt, and
Yeah.
you went on a Nile River, right?
Yeah. So what we did was we started in the south. Well, the plan was to start in Cairo and stay in Cairo, but then, we wanted to travel and get around. So we flew down to the south, which was Aswan, and we got a Nile cruise going up to Luxor. Along the way, we got to see a lot of things. So it is
I
really
watched the
interesting.
video. That is really good. A lot of very informative.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I would do that too, but
Yeah.
I'm craving hot weather now. I want to go somewhere warm, just to enjoy it.
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend going in the summer because it is really, really hot.
Mhm.
So it's not advised to go like in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
But it was a good trip for me. The video that I recorded, it was just all on my smartphone. It wasn't really intended to be like a video.
Mhm.
But thankfully, from following that, that's how I started my YouTube channel because the people like the short video that I made on my phone. And
Yeah, it is good. I think you're doing it right. Yes. Now you are, you tweak. Each video is better and better.
yeah, that's it. You see, it's just a learning curve. It's a journey, like learning different things. And for me, initially, even now, the videos that I make are more for my own personal memory. So in the future, I can go back and watch the places that I've visited and the places that I've been to, and there's no better way of kind of setting those memories but through video.
Yes, that's true. It's more interesting than photos.
Yeah, yeah. And so, what's next on your list of places to travel?
Oh, well, there is many. There is many. Because I decided to move to Switzerland and I have a job offer there. I need to get myself there now as quick as possible. So this will be in early 2021. Instead of going somewhere, which I wanted to go to Manila,
Yeah,
Philippines, I'm not going there. I'm just going to Switzerland, set myself there, settle a little bit, and then hopefully during the summer or later at the end of the year, Egypt or the Philippines. I don't know yet.
Yeah, if you are to go to Egypt, like they have a massive population, especially Cairo. I remember when I was in Cairo one of the days, and was on one of the overpasses where the cars kind of go, and it was quite high, and every single direction I looked, I just could see buildings upon buildings upon buildings.
Yeah, sounds a bit like Mexico City.
Yeah, it's unreal. The population is just unreal, and I assume that the population is well above what is kind of estimated.
Yeah, could be. I was actually talking to my friend who lives in Qatar a few days ago. I was thinking now about going to Qatar next month. I would, but Qatar is closed.
Yeah.
We are still Corona. Qatar is completely closed, and but she told me that I can be their guest next year when things go back to normal. Nice, because Qatar is expensive.
Yeah, but you've got some options now of places you can go to or you'd like to go to.
Yeah, I mean, I always do my research. I prepare a really detailed itinerary. I try to get the best for my money, and I don't need a 5-star hotel.
Yeah.
I need the experiences.
Yeah. So if there's one place in the world that you really would like to go, like a top of your bucket list, what would it be? If money was no objection, or work or timescale, what would you say that place would be?
To be honest with you, I don't have one place. It may be partly because I've already been to a few countries and I kind of got satisfied with all those experiences.
Yeah.
But still, yes, I would like to visit Vietnam. I would like to visit Argentina.
Yeah.
South America, maybe Brazil. Never been to Africa, so I would like to go to Tanzania. Know some people there who always say, "Come, we need to climb Kilimanjaro to get South Africa." So there's many.
Yeah, Tanzania is one of the places that I would like to visit as well. Like you said, it's got Mount Kilimanjaro. You've also got safari. Then, if you go to the border to the east, where they've got nice beaches, and you can go to Zanzibar, which is one of the islands of Tanzania. So yeah.
So is that your top one?
No, for me, I'd say the one place that I really would like to go. Unfortunately, it's got cancelled twice now. One because of coronavirus, and previously because of Monarch Airlines kind of going bust. Is Jerusalem. So
Jerusalem.
I've always found it interesting from like a young age, and then I did go on the pilgrimage a couple of years ago, and then for me the natural next place to see from a historical and a religious point of view was Jerusalem, because it's the place where Jesus was born, and other prophets had been. Like, it's the Holy Land. So for me, I've always wanted to go there. Unfortunately, it's been cancelled twice now, so I'm hoping third time lucky.
Yeah, I think next year, 2021 will be the year when you can do this.
I hope so. But with life, you can't really, you don't know what to expect. Things change all the time.
Yes, we learned that now during this Corona crisis. Yeah.
I did I think that would have been my most interesting trip had that gone ahead, because I think it was 13 days, and what I wanted to do was visit Jerusalem, and then somewhere in between the trip I wanted to travel across the border to Jordan, and one of the interesting places on my bucket list is going to Petra, and I really wanted to see that as well, and maybe even stay in the desert as well, because I think that's the thing that people do, is stay in the deserts of Petra.
Petra is one of the wonders of the world.
Yeah, so I've already done the pyramids, and obviously that was another one for me.
Yeah, oh, you're good. You're ahead of me.
Yeah, so So unfortunately, obviously that got cancelled, but we'll shelf it till another day.
Yeah, I'm sure you will achieve it
Yeah.
very soon.
Yeah. Anyway, so that will bring the show to a close now. I'd like to thank Thomas for being on the show. By all means, check out his channel. The links will be in the description below. And we'd like to have you back on again, Thomas, and maybe we'll have some more stories to share.
Yes,
But
that would be cool.
yeah,
Anytime. Steve, thank you very much for having me on your show. I wish you good luck with this project, with your
yeah,
channel, and I'm sure I will hear about you and you about my stuff in the future.
yeah. I wish you well in Switzerland as well. Hope the move goes to plan, and I hope you enjoy your time there, and I hope success for your channel too.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank
for
you,
having me.
Thomas. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.